Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Today, The Hungry Gamer is back with another episode of the Monthly Menu, and today we're talking about the top 5 games of April 2023. And jumping right into this, we're going to start with last month's picks for April and how did I do. First one on the list was The List. And yes, we did. We knocked one game off the list. That is Heroes of Tenefer. This is a game that finished in my top 5 games of the year a couple years ago. Just a fantastic push your luck deck building game. It just always plays well. It's always a good time. It's been a while since we played, and it took us a little while to kind of get into it and figure it out, and I kind of got everything all mixed up in the box, and it was a mess, but we got it out there, we played, and it just a great game. Really enjoy it every time we play. That is Heroes of Tenefer on the list. Next one was Argent the Consortium, and no, did not get it off the list. And what we're going to find out is this is a little bit of a theme, because what happened this past month is I got food poisoning twice. And so that knocked me out for a lot of time. We took a week-long or 10-day trip, which I didn't have any games with me, and of course we're on a trip, so it wasn't like I was stopping and playing games all the time. So really, I had about 2 weeks maybe of actual time in which I could have played a game. So I did not do well in the picks this month. For a minute, I thought I was going to get through the whole year with like an 80% success rate, but no, it didn't happen. Anyhow, so Argent the Consortium, didn't get to it. Wanted to, didn't happen. One of these days, I'm very excited about it. I keep talking about it. I'm going to get it played. Next one was Mall Peak. And this one to me seemed like a gimmick. It's only a 2-player game. It seemed like real easy for me to get out and played. And shockingly, no. It just didn't happen. I actually did have some good game time with DonCon 2, one of the brief moments in time that I actually was able to get some games in. It wasn't anything like that. And it just never wound up that it was time for a 2-player game. So didn't happen. Next one on the list is Theurgy. And I said last month that that one was going to be a gimme. It was. We had the game with Tony Topper. It was a glorious game. I actually got to play another time at DonCon 2. I even mucked around a little bit with the solo. So lots of Theurgy. Got that in. Always a good time. The last one on the list was Crisis at Steamfall. And I said I need to get the minis painted up and played. And yes, I got those minis painted. They're ready to go. No, I did not get to play. Again, casualty of less gaming time than I had hoped this past month. So, jumping into the top 5 games of the month, which are the ones that did get the most playtime. And this one is the first month in a long time in which there is no tie for 6th. There were 5 games that were distinctly played more times than anything else, and interestingly enough, they all had the exact same number of game sessions played, which is crazy to me. So I went through and I figured out which one I spent more time with. You know, that's not true. Number 1 had the most sessions played, but the other 4, all of them, exact same number of sessions. So I actually went and looked at rounds and length of the game and all that to figure out this list. So number 5 on the list is Fire Nation Rising. And this is a game from The Op. It's a crisis management game on the Thanos Rising series. So it's Avatar, Last Airbender. And I have a review on this coming out probably next week. It's already recorded, just hasn't come out yet. And it's a very light, and I say this not as a pejorative, inoffensive game. And what I mean by that is I don't have anything negative to say about it. I have nothing bad about it. It's just a very light, quick, easy, dice-chucking crisis management game. It was fun. Can't really complain about it. Nice to get Avatar stuff in there. I like Avatar: The Last Airbender. All of that. Delightful time played with that. Number 4 on the list was Vindication. And I find that ironic because of how many times I put Vindication on the games that I wanted to play in the month and I never do. Here we go. I actually got several games of it and culminating with a great game of it at DonCon 2. Lots of players. Just a very, very good game. I'm upset with myself. I messed up how the expansion we were trying to use works, and so we just wound up not using it. But always a good time with Vindication. Still looking forward to getting through all those different expansions. Number 3 on the list is Castellans of Valeria. Now, you're getting a little bit of a sneak preview up there of what this game looks like, because this is one that I'm covering for Daily Magic Games, and I did a playthrough, played some games, I have a preview. None of that's going to release until June, but a little bit of a taste up there what it looks like. This is a dice drafting, tableau building kind of sort of area control Euro game, which is an interesting combination, and the game itself is also pretty darn cool. I really had a good time playing it. I enjoyed it, and you'll be able to check out my video of that at some point. Number 2 is the aforementioned Theurgy. Got a lot of time in with that. I got to play 2 big, huge games of it. Very rare I play with more than 4, but I got to play a game with 5 with Tony Topper and his buddies, and also a max player count game as well at DonCon 2. It's still fun. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop talking about it. Still fun. Great game. Get yourself a copy if you like Troops on the Map games. You're looking for something a little bit simpler, easy to play. Which brings us to the number 1 game. Now this one came roaring in the last few days of the month, and that is Coloma. I've talked about Coloma before. I'm a huge fan of Coloma. If you don't know, there is a new Coloma campaign coming to GameFound at some point in the next few months. It's a reprint of the original, and there is an expansion. Now, I'm not going to say much about it here, but I'm getting to play around a little bit with some of the expansion stuff and the new things when it changes, and playing around with that, getting to play around with some of the changes that are happening to the solo mode. All of those things I'm getting to play around with. So I'm not going to spoil anything because I don't know if I'm allowed to yet, but I'm just going to say the expansion is very cool. It's going to add a lot of stuff to the game that old fans are going to love, new fans are going to like, and the new solo, I think, it's still in the works, still being worked on, but is definitely, I think, an improvement on the old one. Again, that is not me attacking the old solo. It just played differently than the vibe that you get in the game. Not a bad thing. Some people love it. It just didn't work for me. Anyhow, so very excited about that. Coloma coming in at number 1. Moving into this month's picks. Now, starting out the list, as always, and the rest of this, though, is going to look a little bit, or sound, I say, a little bit familiar, because a lot of the games that I tried to get last month are going to carry over this month. I'm committed to getting them played. So I'm going to start with those 3. 3 of them remained on the list. That is Crisis at Steamfall. I really like the game. I really want to play it again. Need to get onto the table. Next one is Mall Peak. Again, great 2-player game. Really, really want to get that played. And then Argent the Consortium. Now, I'm getting worried that Argent the Consortium is going to be my vindication. Every time I say I'm going to do it, it doesn't happen. So we'll see. If I don't get it done this month, I'll stop talking about it, and I'm sure it'll get played right away. And then the only new thing on the list is one that I've played many times before. I've talked about it a lot. It was my game of the year a couple years ago, and that is Court of Miracles. I haven't gotten that to the table in a while, so really excited just to play it again. I don't know if I'll get to play with people, if I'll have to just play solo. I don't know. Great game. Love it. And as always, since this is the monthly menu, this is where I'm going to take a moment and just thank all of the channel members. You'll see them kind of running along down here at the bottom. And as always, I just thank you so much to everyone who helps support the channel. I'm actually starting to get enough of them to where it's actually a little bit harder to just name them all off as going along the bottom. But 3 different levels, as inexpensive as 99 cents. You can help me just kind of keep on going, getting new equipment when I need it, backing different games that you are interested in me actually covering, getting to conventions to get more content, and all of that. So thank you so very much for that. And I'm also, hopefully this month, I'm going to start a new segment of videos that will be occasional and members only, and I'm actually taking suggestions from the members as to what those should actually be. But there you have it, folks. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe consider joining. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.